So the classification of antipsychotics includes phenothiazines. Phenothiazines have three subcategories: aliphatics, piperidins, piperazines. Second category is thioxanthines. Third category is dibenzoxazepines. Fourth category dibenzodiazepines. Fifth one fluorobutyrophenones. Sixth one benzisoxazole. Seventh one beta aminoketones, and the last one and eighth one is benzamides. If you see the examples, promazine, chlorpromazine, triflupromazine comes under aliphatics of phenothiazines. Thioridazine, piperacetazine comes under piperidins of phenothiazines. Prochlorperazine and trifluperazine comes under piperazines phenothiazines. Thiothixine and chlorprotixine are the examples for thioxanthines. Loxapine is the example for dibenzoxazepines. Clozapine is the example for dibenzodiazepine. Haloperidol and droperidol are the examples for fluorobutyrophenones. And risperidone is the example for benzisoxazole. Molindone hydrochloride is the example for beta aminoketones, and sulfide or sulfite, anything you can pronounce, is the example for benzamides. Then we saw the chemical structures of chlorpromazine, triflupromazine, promazine hydrochloride. The difference was there at the position 2. Okay. In chlorpromazine you have chlorine. In promazine you have nothing at position 2. In triflupromazine you have CF3, that is trifluoromethane. And the basic structure is phenothiazine ring. Phenothiazine ring side chain, propyl, and you have amine, that is both hydrogens substituted with methyl groups. Okay. Then the synthesis of chlorpromazine. Starting material is diphenylamine. We have added sulfur and cyclized it to get the phenothiazine moiety. Then after oxidative nitration, we have attached nitro at the position 2 here. Okay. And the nitro is subsequently hydrogenated or reduced to get amine. The amine is diazotized so that we get diazonium salt, easy for removal or substituting. So from here we have made a chlorine to be present at second position. After that we have added our side chain. Okay, so that we got chlorpromazine. And we saw the structures of thioridazine and piperacetazine. Here we got a trick to remember. So phenothiazine, and by remembering its substituent at second position, we can easily remember the name. Okay, thio indicates sulfur, aza is named for nitrogen, acetyl group in piperacetazine. Then we saw the structures of prochlorperazine, trifluperazine. Okay, here we had piperazine rings and trifluoromethane, methane. And in thioxanthines, thio indicates sulfur. Here phenothiazine ring is modified by replacing nitrogen with carbon. Okay, that is the main difference between phenothiazines and thioxanthines. And you see loxapine, succinate, and clozapine. Okay, so dibenzoxazepine is loxapine, dibenzodiazepine is clozapine. The difference is only their basic ring. Okay, oxygen and nitrogen. Otherwise, both the structures are similar. Then we saw haloperidol and droperidol. Okay, in the last session, due to lag in the communication, you didn't see the complete structure of droperidol, I guess. Okay, this part you are unable to see in the last session. So if you want to note it down, note it down. Then benzisoxazole. Okay, you saw the isoxazole here. Okay, this 5-member ring is isoxazole and it is fused to benzene. So benz isoxazole is present in risperidone. So this is it with the chemical structures of antipsychotics. Now we have two more, that is molindone, HCl, and benzamide. Okay, so this is the benzene ring and this is CONH, that is amide, benzamide. Okay, and SUL, sulfur dioxide. Okay, and if we see tetrahydropyrrole is there and you have ethyl substituent and beta aminoketones, molindone. So if you see this cyclic structure, it is tetrahydroxazine, oxazaine. Okay, and if you see, it is pyrrole ring having methyl and ethyl substitution. Okay, this is hexyl ring that is fused to pyrrole, and these are the chemical structures of antipsychotics and or antipsychotics are tranquilizers. Okay, now let us see the structure activity relationship of phenothiazines. So please do concentrate while learning the structure activity relationships so that we can correlate it with the already learned chemical structures in the unit. So first of all, we need to learn the general structure of phenothiazines. It is very well, you are very well acquainted with the general structures. So what is it? Phenyl ring, right? And thiazine ring. Thia indicates sulfur, aza indicates nitrogen, 6-member ring. Again, it is fused to another phenyl ring on the other side. And it has a side chain attached at nitrogen that is present at 10th position, right? It is a propyl side chain having a substituent at second carbon and attached to amino group that is on third carbon. Okay, so this nitrogen is having two substituents designated as R1, R2, and the third substitute is at second carbon. So this is the general structure. For any structure activity relationship, you need to remember the general structure and the numbering. Numbering is very important. If you see the numbering for phenothiazines, the first position starts here, second is this, third this one, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. So if you observe till now, we have modified most of the times. The second position we have modified and the side chain we have modified. So if you, as far as we remember, these positions were modified in most of the chemical structures. So they varied at the position 2 and in the side chain, right? So let us see. Generally, this is the general structure for the phenothiazines. Okay, so general structure for phenothiazines to act as antipsychotic agent is the structure which is being shown on the board. Okay, so these substances are chemically constituted by lipophilic linearly fused tricyclic system. Okay, so this is aromatic, so and it is not polar, it is non-polar, so it will be more lipophilic, lipid soluble, this moiety. Okay, and hydrophilic basic amino alkyl side chain is there. So alkyl side chain is hydrophilic, this one is lipophilic. Lipophilic part is this one, side chain is hydrophilic part. So we need both hydrophilic as well as lipophilic parts in the drug agent, so that lipophilic a portion of the ingredient or the active pharmaceutical ingredient. What it will do, it will help in absorption, distribution, and showing its action. For hydrophilicity of the drug helps in metabolism or excreting, getting excreted out of the body after showing its action. So an ideal drug should have the required optimal portions for both lipophilic and hydrophilic properties. So if you see the phenothiazines, lipophilic portion is the tricyclic fused ring, okay, and the hydrophilic part is the side chain. So this is the first point you need to remember: the lipophilic portion as well as the hydrophilic portion. So the activities of these compounds are determined by the nature of the side chain at C10. C10 means this one, carbon present at 10. It doesn't mean that only carbon should be there. So here in this case, carbon is replaced with nitrogen. So that means position 10. So okay, the side chain attached at position 10 is determining its nature. Okay, and the activity. The amino group of the side chain, this is, and the substance on the aromatic nucleus. That is this whole ring. If you put any substance on the ring, okay, or if you modify the side chain, or if you modify the amino group, these are the three main conditions to alter the activity of the phenothiazine. Fine. So let us see one by one what happens if we substitute or modify phenothiazine ring. Okay, phenothiazine ring. So it is not visible. Fine. So the best portion for substitution is this second position, as we have discussed earlier. Second position is most determining. Okay, we saw most of the structures differed in only second position. So we need to substitute more electronegative atom. What is the most common example we saw as an electronegative atom? It was chlorine, right? Most of the times chlorine was there. Sometimes sulfur was there. Okay, sometimes carboxylic acid was there in most of the structures. Then activity increases as the electron withdrawing ability of the substituent increases. Okay. So if you put chlorine, the activity increases as the electronegativity, that is proportional to the activity. More electronegative, it will be having more activity. Okay. And substituent at position 3 shows significant activity compared to unsubstituted compound, but not as significant as substituent at position 3. What he is saying, if you observe promazine, chlorpromazine, okay. So this is the promazine, okay. Promazine doesn't have anything on second position. Chlorpromazine have chlorine. Trifluoropromazine having CF3 at second position. But if you observe third position, you don't have anything in three of the compounds shown here. So what he is saying, if second position is substituted, it's okay. But third position, if substituted optimally, that is good. But this substituted third position is not that much modified the activity as compared to the substituent that is present at second position. Okay. In simple terms, if you want to substitute something at 3, you substitute. Otherwise, it's fine. If you substitute at position 3, there should not be any substituents at other places. If you don't find any other substituents at second position or at any other position, you can substitute at third position for activity. But if you have something at second position, it is not that significant. Okay, you can leave third position. Okay. So second position having electronegative atom is important. Okay. Fine. Then substitution at first and fourth has a deleterious effect on antipsychotic activity. So first and fourth positions should not be substituted. If you substitute, they will reduce the activity. Okay. And oxidation of the sulfur at fifth position, that will decrease neuroleptic activity. So what is there? It is present as part of thiazine ring, right? In the middle ring, you have sulfur at fifth position. It should not be oxidized. It should be kept as such. Okay, that is also very much required for the activity. So these are the things related to phenothiazine ring. So the substitution should be at second position. If more electronegative, more active. Third position, you can substitute if there are no other substituents on the ring. Okay. First and fourth position should not be substituted. Sulfur should not be oxidized. So these are the four important points to be remembered for phenothiazine ring. Okay, next we'll see the modifications of the alkyl side chain. Alkyl side chain. Let us see what happens if we modify alkyl side chain. So the 3-carbon atom chain between position 10 and the amino nitrogen is required. Okay, so 3 carbon should be present in the side chain between carbon 10 or nitrogen at the position of 10 and amino group at the end. Okay, if you shorten or lengthen the chain, that will decrease the activity. Okay, the 3-carbon atom side chain may be necessary because it permits the maximum resemblance of most preferred conformational form of dopamine. So this is what the main point is. Okay, so if you observe, this is the phenothiazine ring having side chain at position 10. This is the 10. And you have CH2, 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 and the NH2. This is the amino group. This is the carbon at 10th position he is talking about. That means carbon is replaced with nitrogen. So the nitrogen 10th position and amino group between the space should be filled with 3 carbon atoms only, 3 carbons. If you shorten or if you, that means if you're removing the number of carbons or increasing the number of carbons, that won't have good antipsychotic activity. So the ideal number of carbons should be 3. Okay, this is the first point that should be kept in the mind when it comes to modification of alkyl side chain. So why it is saying? Because the presence of these 3 carbons between 10th position of the ring and the amino group is promoting conformational form of dopamine. Dopamine is the chief neurotransmitter in the CNS. Conformational form of dopamine. Right? And the substitution on the propylene chain, that is this one, highlighted one, that is the propylene chain. Okay, the aminopropyl, we can call it as aminopropyl phenothiazine. So that will influence the anticyclic potency. How? If you introduce methyl group at C1, decreases antipsychotic activity. CH3, this is the carbon one, decreases the activity if you introduce methyl group at first carbon. Okay, and if you introduce methyl group at C2 or C3, okay, that has little influence. If you put methyl group at C3 and C4, designate this carbon as 1, 2, 3. If you put CH3 here or here, that will little modify the action, that may decrease or increase. Okay, and if you bridge the position 3 of side chain to position 1 of the phenothiazine nucleus, that will reduce the neuroleptic activity. That means this carbon, where is the position 1? This is the position 1. And if you cyclize it, that will lose this neuroleptic activity. So there should not be any cyclization between these two positions, this position and this position of the ring. Aliphatic and aromatic position should not be cyclized. Okay, so these are the points to be remembered when it comes to the modification of alkyl side chain. Okay, now let us intensify the so can you hear me?
Sir,
Yeah. Okay. So modification of the basic amino group. So maximum potency is retained in compound having tertiary amino groups, and activity is reduced with secondary and primary amino groups. So what we are talking about, so this is the basic moiety. So I'll minimize it and I'll enlarge the side chain we have talked about. Now we are concentrating on nitrogen atom. So activity, how it is there? Activity is maximum with tertiary amine. Okay, good activity. Secondary amine and primary amine are not that good when it comes to showing the activity. That is what the meaning is. So maximum potency is retained in compound having tertiary amino group. What is tertiary? If nitrogen is connected to 3 carbon atoms, that is called tertiary. If you see primary amino group. Can you see the board? Fine. So alkylation of amino group with large amino groups decreases neuroleptic activity. So amino group should not be further alkylated with the larger amino groups. Okay, then activity is retained or increased if the amino group is incorporated in cyclic systems like piperidine or piperazine. So if you observe some piperazines and piperidines we had. So piperazine, okay, or I'm highlighting only this portion, or piperidine. These rings will increase the activity. Okay, piperazines are piperidines. So potency of the compound increases with substitution of hydroxy methyl hydroxyethyl group at C4 of piperidine. That means this position, fourth position. If you put OH or CH3 or ethyl group, okay. What else? Hydroxyethyl, that means OC2H5 or OCH3 hydroxymethyl. Okay. So these groups at C4, carbon 4 of piperazine or piperidine ring will increase the activity. Okay. Then piperazine phenothiazines may be esterified with long chain fatty acids to produce slowly absorbable long acting lipophilic drugs. So piperazine ring, this one, this piperazine ring, what can be done? They may be esterified. That means C double bond O. If you introduce esters, what it will give? That will result in a compound which can be slowly absorbable, slowly absorbable, slowly absorbable, long acting, and lipophilic drugs. So if you want to formulate a long acting antipsychotics, this is the ring modification that needs to be done. Okay, piperazine ring. Okay. And the protonated basic amino group forms hydrogen bond with substituted carbon 2, position at carbon 2, which resembles dopamine. Okay. So the amino group is cyclized with 2, carbon 2. And phenothiazines, neuroleptics mediate their pharmacological effects mainly through interaction at D2 type of dopamine receptors. Antipsychotics, all antipsychotics preferably acts at D2 type of dopamine receptor. Remember the target, dopamine receptor. Okay. And sulfur at carbon 5 is analogous to the parahydroxyl group of dopamine. And it is also assigned as receptor binding function. So the sulfur here it is resembling the parahydroxy group of dopamine, and that is important in binding to the receptor. So this is all about modification of basic amino group and structure activity relationship of phenothiazines. With this we have completed antipsychotics, the topic. Okay. So please do remember three modifications needs to be done. I'll summarize quickly. So this is the basic structure of phenothiazines. Okay. So we can do three modifications. One is at this main nucleus are composed of linearly fused three rings. Second one is second position of the ring. Third one is the this one propyl side chain, and the lastly amino group. What important points to be remembered? This is the lipophilic part. Okay. This is the hydrophilic part, side chain. First point to be remembered. Then second position should be more electronegative. That will be more showing activity. And the three carbons are ideal between position 10 and amino group. Okay. Amine tertiary amine is most preferred over secondary and primary amine. Okay. And this lone pair of electrons present on nitrogen, if they are cyclizing with this, are resembling the dopamine, and this sulfur is making phenothiazines act on D2 type of receptors as they are analogous to para-hydroxy group of dopamine. Okay, so this is the ideal structure of phenothiazines to act as antipsychotics, otherwise known as tranquilizers, otherwise known as neuroleptics. So other name is neuroleptics, otherwise tranquilizers. Please do remember these three names. Okay. So this is all about antipsychotics.